Hello everybody and welcome to Groupon's Christmas webinar. Thank you all for joining today. So firstly, who am I? Hello, my name is Chris Teague. I specialise on onboarding new partners to Groupon. I'm a sales director here and I've worked at Groupon for the last 7.5 years and it's my team's main responsibility to go out and find merchants just like you guys to put them on the Groupon page and create some amazing features that entice new customers in. So that's me. So today, what we're going to talk about in our Christmas webinar, there's a few topics. A lot of it's going to be focused around customers and a lot of it's going to be focused around you guys. So why customers love you, about gifting, which is super important this time of year, as you know, capturing the Christmas spirit and keeping that going throughout the entirety of 2019, and then a little bit about our marketing plan and what we're doing moving forwards. So why customers love you. First and foremost, here's a small fact, well, actually quite a big fact. There are 5.7 million small and medium businesses in the UK, just like you guys. So it's a humongous amount of businesses that are in the marketplace, and 99% of customers actually prefer to use a small or a medium-sized business over a large multinational corporation, which again is fantastic news for you guys and for us. Small and medium-sized businesses account for around 33% of employment in the UK. So you have a humongous impact on not only the economy, but the employment as well. So we know how important you are, right? And that's also important to us because we want to help you guys to deliver more if we can. So let's talk about why merchants are loving us at the minute. So we all know online shopping is huge at the moment. It's growing around 14% year on year, which is a massive amount, and it's not even showing any signs of slowing down. People like to spend online. It's easy. You can sit on your sofa, you can surf your phone while you're on the train, or even while you're walking down the street, right? So we know that these things are super important to people. Now, Groupon is pretty good at attracting new customers. It's something that also we've been doing for a little while now, and we know what we're doing there. As you can see from the stats on the screen, 81% of the prospects that Groupon attracts will actually be new business customers for you, people that have never been to you before. Now, there are a lot of stigmas around about Groupon that we tend to churn a lot of people that you already see, but actually the stats tell us the complete opposite, that I say 81% of people that walk through the door after a Groupon feature tend to be new customers. The other one that's quite interesting on here is 50% are big spenders. So more than half of the customers that we send along on a Groupon feature actually spend more than the voucher value. So again, trying to erase that stigma of the bargain hunters come along, spending the voucher value and then leaving. It doesn't happen all the time. There are people out there that still do that. It's important to say that, but most of our customers, the majority, are spending more money than the Groupon voucher. Now, another stat that's very interesting and for me is a really important one is that 78% of the businesses that we work with recommend Groupon to other businesses, which tells me a couple of things. One, the process obviously works. It's easy, it's seamless, but also from a financial point of view, there's a gain there. New customers means more money, and it's as simple as that. So a little bit about us. I wanted to talk about the consumer shopping habit. There's 3 key points that shoppers are looking for at the moment, and especially when it comes to online. First is choice. We live in a world where we have choice now. People can go out there and they have multiple options of what they can buy. So choice is very, very important. The second thing is price comparison. Because of the online marketplace, it is so easy to compare prices, whether that be the same product across different platforms or whether that be different types of products that are similar and you're trying to work out which is the way to go. And the last thing is convenience. We've touched on this already. How easy is it to sit on a train, to sit on your sofa, in your pajamas, lie in bed and to buy? And Groupon really plugs into this because we have all these avenues available to people to use, and it works, right? It works. We know it works. So consumers want to buy online. Now, this is a staggering stat that 80% of online purchases in the UK in the marketplace, 80%. It's more than anywhere in Europe that we spend online. It's only 20% that is not online. I mean, it doesn't sound real, but the studies show that that's the case. That is excluding grocery shopping, by the way. But there's a lot of people shopping online now for ease, and I think we can see it in the high streets. I mean, it's not a nice situation to be in, but you know, I walk down local high streets. You know, I'm in London at the moment, and even in London, you can see that there are shops that aren't open anymore, and that's a distressing state of the market, and we don't want that to continue. So Groupon's aim is really to try and drive people to spend at local places. We want to support small and medium-sized businesses. So these three key pillars of what people are looking for. Now, interestingly, a lot of people want to buy food. When it comes to purchasing online, 44% of UK consumers use small businesses for experiential gifts like food, 34% buy beauty. There's a key word there, which is experiential, which we're going to come on a little bit more detail in a minute, so I'll hold fire on that one for now. We know people want to use small and medium-sized businesses, but there are people out there that don't. And it's how can we capture those? Now, in a recent survey, 77% of people that currently don't said that they're considering a change. And my personal belief is people are understanding that high streets are suffering. We don't want to be in 10 years' time where you walk down a high street and the shops are shut. It doesn't work for anybody. So it's super important that we try and change that right now. So this slide's about mobile gifting, and we're coming into the gifting time, as we know, Christmas time. But mobile is super important. Now, what this graph shows you across the bottom, as you go left to right, it moves across in time from 2016 to what we expect in Q1 of 2019. And if you look at the colors on the graph, what it's showing you is the dark gray at the top is people that are purchasing with a browser, so on a desktop or a laptop. The middle gray band or light green is a mobile website, and the bright green color is people using a mobile app. Again, it's probably no surprise for most of you to see that it's steadily increasing the use of mobile. It's just the way the world is moving to. So if you're not online and you don't have a mobile presence, it's really worth considering investing in that side, because we're expecting from looking at current trends that this is going to continue to increase. So it's very, very important to try and get into that online space. So next along, Groupon's got it, customers gift it. So we're still talking about gifting here. And there's a lot of bits on this slide, so I'm going to talk you through them one by one. So the majority of spending will be dedicated to gifts worth an average of £284. So on average, people are spending £284 on a gift, which is a humongous amount of money. And a lot of it comes down to simple things like, when you're purchasing a gift, you don't want to be seen as stingy, right? You don't want to be a Scrooge. You want to go in there and you want to buy something that's nice. So we want to utilize this time of year knowing that customers are spending more money. And as it says at the top there as well, Christmas spending is expected to rise as UK shoppers are the top gift buyers in Europe. We love buying gifts in the UK. It's as simple as that. As we move forward in time, between 2017 and 2026, it's anticipated that the amount of money spent online will grow an additional 127%. There's still a gap in the market. We're not fully there yet with online purchases, but it's continuing to rise, as I've already mentioned. And solid growth is expected in UK Christmas spending as well. So this year, UK consumers are planning to spend 142% more on gifts than the European average. So we're happy to spend money as a nation, which is good news. Also, this is an interesting one, that 207% more on food and drink, which is 2 times more than average. So we know people want to buy gifts, they like to buy experiences, and they like to buy food. So kind of makes sense, right? Makes sense to me anyway. Let's talk about millennials, because it's a very, very important part of the capturing the right market. And we've already spoken about experiences, and this is what's a real key thing, and we're noticing this on Groupon more and more. 72% of millennials prefer to spend more money on experiences than material things. So rather than the traditional way, you buy socks for your dad or your granddad, or you're buying that gift set of beauty products, a lot of people now would rather buy an experience. So we can translate that on Groupon. Rather than you buying a pair of socks for your dad, you can buy him a 3-course dinner to go to a local restaurant. Now, it's still going and doing something locally, but you have the experience side of it. And we also capture the purchase online. So we're playing into 2 very, very key markets there. Now, this is actually higher than I expected it to be, but if you look at the stat on the bottom left, 71% of survey people state they don't want a physical gift. So out of 100 people, 71 have said, do you know what, I don't want an actual material gift, I'd rather go and do something. So this is where Groupon can really play into that market. And also as well with the younger generation, Generation Z and millennials, they prefer to give them because it's something they want. So they often buy something for somebody else that they want themselves, which I think is very, very interesting. So what are the most popular experience gifts that we see? Of course, I think food and beverage is going to be the obvious one. 48% of the food and beverage category, and that's things like, I say, 3-course meals, wine tasting, food festivals, brewery tours, all these kind of things that get people out and about and to experience some fantastic local merchants. Second is tickets to events, whether that's a music event or whether that's a local event. A lot of them are actually local events that are done in local towns. And the last one is 31% on the beauty industry. So for all of you guys out there that have a beauty salon or something similar, there are key parts of the beauty industry which we find are particularly important this time of year, and they're listed on here: spa vouchers, massages, manicure, pedicure, facials. We tend to find the entirety of the beauty industry doesn't necessarily translate, but these specific things people are very interested in. You know, if you're going to buy a present for your mum or your nan or your friend, you tend to probably buy a spa experience or maybe a pamper package or a massage because it screams luxury. And people want to be seen to buying something that's high value. So let's look at customers gifting on Groupon. We track the information here. So we actually look at when people are purchasing a voucher, are they buying it for a gift or are they buying it for themselves? And you can see here, again, from left to right is the time. So as we approach September, stays pretty steady. We move into October and November and we see a huge spike. So not only is more people buying gifts on Groupon this time of year, but they spend more as well. So they spend on average 67% more on gifts compared to non-gifts. And that, I think, really goes back to the point of, if you're going to spend a gift, you want to get a good one. And people want to spend more money. So they're not afraid to spend more money. And that, for me, is the real key factor here, is we're playing on the fact that most of the population are happy to spend more. So the question I've got for you guys is, how giftable are you? Have you got products that are giftable? So if you're a restaurant, for example, do you have a seasonal menu? Have you got a Christmas menu? Do you have a Valentine's menu? Do you have a Mother's Day menu? Because people want to buy something that ties into an occasion to fit in with the experience. Same goes for, say, beauty, for example. Have you got pamper packages? Have you got something that you can purchase for Mother's Day? Have you got something you can purchase for Christmas? Maybe a hot stone massage and a facial, rather than a normal massage and a facial, to try and tie into the fact that, hey, look, it's a bit colder outside now. So if you're not giftable right now, my advice to you is have a look at what you offer. Can you package it in a way that's more exciting? Because people will pay more money for it and people are going to buy it this time of year. So it's really, really worth thinking about that. Very quick one on this slide. This is giftable categories as a whole. We've already mentioned food and beauty. A third one is national, so that's our big partners that we run, and then we move down towards leisure. Leisure this time of year we tend to find is indoor. A lot of the time that people will purchase for a gift, or people will buy something that's outdoor but will buy it in advance. So people will purchase a Christmas present now for, say, a supercars day or learn to fly or a helicopter experience that maybe will be actually redeemed in April time. So that's obviously something to think about as well. So using the Christmas spirit is important, but how do you keep it going? That's the key question here. Is it's all well and good making more money at Christmas, but how can you keep that moving forward? So as it says on the slide, maintain the momentum into 2019. You guys will know this more than anybody, and this is no secret, right? That word of mouth is super important. 92% of consumers believe recommendations from friends and family over all forms of advertising. So if someone tells you something's good and they're your friend or your family, you're going to believe them and you're going to go and try it. And people are 4 times more likely to buy when referred by a friend. So it's very, very important that you guys are obviously offering a fantastic service. You're the ones that are running these amazing businesses, and when people are coming in, they're going away and they're telling their friends and family about what an amazing time they've had. On the flip side, it also works the wrong way for you as well, as I'm sure you know. If there's a bad experience being given or something's not gone well, people also talk about that as well. So when it comes to looking at fitting that into Groupon, what we often say to our merchants is, look, roll out the red carpet for these people. Don't treat them like a discount customer. If you can treat them like a king or a queen, and you can give them the best possible experience, they're more likely to recommend you, as well as coming back, of course, but recommending you is super important as well. So again, on the slide, 92% of respondents trusted referrals from people they knew, and 83% of consumers are willing to refer after a positive experience. So I don't know if you guys capture that information. You know, you've just given someone a treatment. If you're a beauty salon, they've just had an amazing meal. That's the time to try and make sure that you can somehow tap into that refer a friend. And a lot of businesses that we work with right now do a loyalty scheme. They have a loyalty card, or they offer some incentive to come back or to recommend a friend that benefits both parties mutually, which I think is a really good way to move as well, because you want to capture as many people as you possibly can. So we've talked a little bit about new people and recommending. Let's talk a little bit about your repeat custom base, because let's face it, those are the people that you rely on week in and week out. So repeat customers are 9 times more likely to convert than a first-time shopper. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody on here. Obviously, these people are bought into the brand. They know you, they trust you, they'll spend more. During holiday shopping, which is right now, first-time customers spend 17% more per transaction, and repeat customers spend 25% more. So someone that's never been to you before typically will spend 17% more this time of year. But that increases to 25% when you have a customer that knows who you are. And again, that goes down to the trust element. People trust you, they know who you are, they know what you can deliver. Repeat customers are responsible for generating 40% of business revenue. So if you shut the doors and you said no more new business, you'd be on average running around 40% of the revenue. So it's very important to spin both plates at the same time. You want to be keeping that repeat customer happy, but you also need to be driving those new people through the front door that turn into a repeat customer. And that's where Groupon is incredible, because you saw from the stats earlier on that once people have been, they tend to come back, and they tend to have a positive experience and tell other people. So it all kind of fits in. The thing here at the bottom, which I love this stat, after one purchase, a customer has 27% chance of returning to your business. Once you increase that to 2 or 3, it goes up to 54% chance of making an extra purchase. Again, it's about driving habit. You send people through the front door, you give them a fantastic experience, they come back, they're more bought into you as a brand. And that's what it's all about, is giving that positive experience. So look, let's recap on a couple of things. We know word of mouth is important. We've talked about it a lot. 92% of consumers believe recommendations from family and friends. It's a huge stat. Groupon gives you a chance to put yourself out there and be a step ahead of the competition with the way that we do business. And if you want to keep a new customer, just treat them like royalty. Roll out the red carpet, give them what they want, be attentive. All the things that you guys are probably doing on a day-to-day basis anyway, but it is so important to a customer, as we've seen. So look, let's have a look at how Groupon kind of helped to play into that. Now, we can't always use or control that someone is going to go and tell their friends and family about an experience. But what we can try and help with is by putting reviews on our deals. You don't know the people, but you trust it when you see that many people have reviewed it and said it's been a great experience. So there's an example on the screen. These people have got 489 ratings. They've got a 4.7 out of 5. That is a huge driver to making an additional purchase, because you trust what other people trust. And that's how we try and get that buy-in. We also show reviews, which you can see across the bottom here. We actually show the written review that people say and what they're saying. We mark people with a top reviewer if they've reviewed more than 5 businesses. And then you can see also towards the bottom right, just underneath the buyer button, there is a give as gift, which is how we track what is being gifted, because they pass that to another person. So we can see all this stuff very, very easily. Another way that we do this is we use online shops where basically we pool our deals together, or we categorize them in a certain way. So for example, this one's called your Christmas wish list. Stop here for present ideas. And we try and group things that can be used as a present to drive customers to purchase certain things. And that really works for us. And obviously, if it works for us, it obviously works for you guys too. It means we can drive consumers straight to you by collecting things that are similar, and they tend to stay on the site longer. They'll look at things more, and then they purchase more as well, which is the key thing. So jump on the Groupon sleigh. Let me just walk you through what our marketing looks like for the Christmas period. This is very high level. I'm not going into a huge amount of detail, but just so you understand what we're aiming at. So for November, you guys obviously are local businesses. You're not an online business, most of you. You're going to be a local establishment. Black Friday and Cyber Monday is absolutely massive. It is one of the biggest days of the year. So if any of you are not involved in Black Friday or Cyber Monday, it's really time to think about it. You can see a lot of the bigger chains that are involved in it. Online, it is massive. It is a huge revenue stream. So we really tap into that market. We take a local business like you guys and we make them online. People can gift them, people can buy them for themselves, and we really drive an obscene amount of traffic on those days. Then we move towards gifts for everyone. So we look at theming what we're doing with our newsletters. We look at our merchandising, making sure that it's very visual so that we can target gifts for dad, gifts for mum, gifts for him, gift for her. And that really works for us as well because it drives a purchase. Then as we go into December, we use our tag of last minute gifting, which works pretty well because if anyone's anything like I am, sometimes I'm a little bit last minute to the party, and I do think, okay, I need to find something pretty quick. Groupon's the place to go. You can find a fantastic deal, a fantastic product at a lower price, which is amazing. And then as we move towards the end of December, we move into what we call Happy You Year, which is very much based around wellness, feel good, look good. You know what it's like, you've eaten a lot of Christmas turkey, comes to January and everyone goes, right, now's the time to get fit, now's the time to feel good. So we theme a lot of our marketing around that. So that's kind of our high level plan for moving forwards, and that's what we're trying to look at doing. The last thing I want to discuss with you is I just want to cover off the benefits again. There are obviously benefits to you guys, but also there are benefits to the customer as well. Something that we do very differently now, we're not the Daily Deal website we used to be. We're very much centered around becoming a marketplace. So we offer flexibility. We offer you the ability to be able to choose how long you're on the page. If you get to a busy period of time and you think, okay, I want to sell less vouchers now. For example, normally I sell 100 a month. I only want to sell 50 a month because I'm getting busy. You have the flexibility on Groupon to dial the caps down that works with your seasonality. So rather than it being a hit and hope mentality, we're very much fitting in with your seasonal trends and when you're getting busy and when you're getting quiet. So it's a seamless integration there. Simplicity, it's extremely easy to use. You have one account manager that walks you through the process. You have some online tools, including our Merchant Center and our booking tool, which means that you can collate all the information in one place. You can see what you're getting paid, you can see what people think, you've got everything there. As I mentioned, it's ongoing. It can run for as long as you need it to. It's extremely targeted. We look at trying to entice local people. So the main aim for us is not to get you people that live 2 hours away that are coming along and visiting that are only going to come once. We put a lot of focus on trying to market you to people that are very close to your location and that have also purchased something similar before. So someone always buys food, they like food, and you're a restaurant, we want to send them to your restaurant and we want to make sure that they live close so that the potential for the repeat custom is huge. The other thing you get, which, on top of everything else, is you just get the marketing. We're exposing your business to millions of people every single day. They can see what you're about. There's links to your website. So you'll see that the traffic online really spikes when you run a Groupon feature because people are prepared to come and have a look at what you offer. So that's pretty good. You've got cash flow. So obviously we're paying you when customers are coming in the door, which is pretty fantastic if you're a business. And then the second two are very similar to marketing. You have brand, you have awareness, and lastly, you've got customers. And having those new customers, we've already spoken about it during the webinar. What we want you to do with those new customers and what you want to do with those new customers, more importantly, is convert them into regular, full paying, huge spenders that come back and stay with you for as long as you possibly can. So that's what Groupon's all about, and it ties in very nicely with what you as small and medium businesses are looking for. So look, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to listen for today. There's a bit of contact information on the last slide there, depending if you're in Ireland, the UK, or if you're in UAE. Please give us a call or please drop us an email. If you've got any questions or you're thinking, do you know what, I thought about Groupon, I'm just not sure if this is going to work for me, just drop us an email and we can have a look at it for you. If it doesn't work, not a problem, but in most cases we can really create something that's exciting and it's going to work. So look, thank you very much from me, and Merry Christmas. Thank you very much.